Okay, that one's much better.
Okay.
Speaking of much better,
Welcome to Revival of Dungeons and Dragons Real Play Podcast. Now with no pre-open.
It's time for that sip.
That first sip of the year.
I tried to open my sip, but it's doing that thing where it's like the carbonation's too powerful and the tab won't budge.
I think you're just too weak to open a can.
It's not too weak. It's I don't want to bend up my freaking fingernail, dude.
Just shotgun the monster. What's the worst that could happen?
Ugh.
McFly,
do
you
it.
bojo. Those sips don't work on water.
Speaking of things that don't work on water,
It's Revival, a Dungeons and Dragons Real Play podcast.
it is true. Every time you guys have gotten into a boat, it's gone terribly. So, you know what's similar to a boat?
Dungeons and
Revival.
Dragons.
No, I was going to say
Oh,
a
no.
car. It's like a land boat, which is what you guys are in. If I remember correctly, you guys finally fixed the car after getting stuck in a very, very bad time waster.
A Knoll Hill.
And then also getting rather disturbing information about what's going on back at the congregation. Maybe there's something a little bit not good there.
I think it's fine.
I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, you'll be okay.
It's probably
just
fucked
gotta-
up, but we can't do anything about it, so...
Yeah, we just gotta do what
Yeah.
we came to
More or
do
less,
and then
yeah.
deal with that later.
Yes. Yeah, you guys are you're on your way west from Albuquerque, probably at very high speed.
How many people do we have in our convoy right now?
Just
I
us,
think
I
it's just
think.
you guys.
Yeah, we left those other units behind.
I cannot remember if you brought Mavala Jr. with you.
No.
I'm like 90% sure we left those guys back at
Everybody, right?
Yeah, we left the...
They said that they would be fixing the truck up and meeting up with you guys, but in character you have not gotten any contact from them for like a day and a half.
Oh, fuck. So, were they taking the same route as us?
We don't know.
Yes.
Because we were
Probably.
holed up in Albuquerque for like a good long while, and if they
but-
never met us, that's kind of disturbing.
They also have to do massive repairs
Yeah,
on
they
the
have to
road
do
trip.
way more than us.
That's true. Not everyone is as fantastic as Pat and Normstrom.
It weighs twice as much now due to the sheer mass of bullets in it.
That's free lead.
It's free real estate.
All right, I'm gonna... Hey, Patton, try our convoy's frequency. I need to test something.
No more teleporting.
I'm not teleporting, I just need to eliminate something here.
Don't eliminate things by teleporting.
We're not teleporting, I promise.
What do we eliminate?
Yeah, I think he's going to try teleporting, Specky.
Just see if they answer.
All right, I'll go ahead and dial them up, and we're all connected with that HUD now because he put in those 4 chips, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will. Can I transfer the call to Jaron? Because I'm a little bit busy flying 90 miles an hour in the desert.
Yes. I mean,
Yeah,
you can just
so I'll
put
do
it
that.
on quote-unquote speakerphone.
Well, yeah, well, whatever works for you, Jerry. Here you go.
All
Car
right,
veers off the road into a fucking tree immediately.
I'm gonna bring up all
The
our
only
faces
tree in the desert.
in the little heads-up display if we kind of have one,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll ring Alonza.
Okay. So, whatever the sound this sort of thing makes. No answer.
All right, let's try the students.
Dr. Adelhelm, big news.
Oh no.
Hang up on him.
Am I on speaker? Is
Yeah,
this
you're
live?
on.
Oh,
Dr. Adelhelm, it's me.
no,
Randall.
Mavala Jr. is not disappeared. She's approximately 3 feet to the left and maybe a shelf up.
Dr. Adelhelm, sell me big news.
Yes, what is it?
Everything is dark.
You want to elaborate on that?
You're going to hear the sound of somebody like wiggling, and then the sound of a receiver falling onto the ground. Professor Adelhelm, I apologize for Brandel. It appears that we are all tied up together.
Oh.
And then you hear in the background, "Oh God, I'm going to die, and it's not even going to count for credits."
Can you...
Calm down, Mavola. I'm pretty sure they give posthumous PhDs.
Well, actually, the history of posthumous PhDs are a bit of a sore spot for the...
Let her have this.
Well, I suppose. Well, before I let the panic set in, what exactly has happened?
As far as I can tell, we are in the middle of somewhere cold, slightly dark. There were those people with robes everywhere.
People with robes, you want to elaborate on that?
Oh, the same ones that were shooting at us, sir.
Oh, but I had assumed they had dispersed.
Just gonna hear silence. Dr. Adelhelm, so did I.
Yes, well, I'm attempting to get a sort of a broader picture of what's happened here, so you'll have to forgive my ignorance, knowing that you're in the dark, because we are also, metaphorically speaking, in the dark.
What happened to our Dragonborn and Alonzo? Are they still of the living?
I can't tell you.
Oh,
Can't or...
great.
Let me elaborate. That was very unscientific of me.
To say the least.
I am not physically capable of telling you because I don't have that information.
That makes a lot more sense. What would you assess your current, well, I mean, your hands are free, which means you have the ability
Oh,
to...
no, they absolutely are not.
Then how did you pick up this call?
Have you ever seen the things that Brandel does?
I try not to.
Same.
Other than, of course, for a proper grading procedure, Becky grades all of Brandel's papers.
A+. Just makes paw into a little stamp. A+.
Wow.
Before you were blindfolded or whatever, did you see anything happen to Dr. Robo's van?
Was there a struggle? Do we need to come back and assist you, or do you have this well in hand?
I believe all of our collective memories are foggy and being actively suppressed.
Well, that doesn't sound particularly good.
Well, that ain't good.
No, it
Jerry,
does
why
not.
don't you call up Casey?
The last thing that I remember is you all leaving, and then we were here.
Okay. We will be in touch. Just make sure not to panic, because there's no good that will come of that. I'm going to call
Unless
Casey.
you think that increasing your relative levels of adrenaline will allow you to escape, in which case panic a little.
And I've hung up the phone, and we're calling the steel drivers.
Okay.
Yeah, we should get them to mount a rescue operation.
So,
We can't afford to go back.
you go...
No, Daniel, it's That's gonna get this whole thing demonetized and claimed by
is.
fucking Nokia.
It will. But
You know, I was going to get around to changing the ringtone to
It
but
should
I
be
never got around to it.
Fuck you, Tad. It's gonna be the fucking Boost Mobile chirp.
you're going to hear it immediately pick up, and you're going to hear the sounds of several people all singing along very out of key. What song should it be? Probably Party Hard by Andrew WK. They do not seem to notice that they have picked up the receiver. It is
Okay.
very loud.
I'm going to try and can I, through the walkie-talkie, reduce the outside, like the exterior noise to whoever picked up the phone?
No, it's
Haha, no.
Nah.
Damn.
Digital.
What you can do, though, is you can make a really loud, prolonged screech. Watch this.
Oh no! Okay. Oh no!
Patton puts a fucking microphone straight to it. Yeah,
Or
he could do
CB. This isn't a CB radio because it operates, like super long distances. I'm pretty sure the thing that we established was that they were substituting the digital signal boost with their own boost system. and
You'd have to.
subverting
I
the
don't
digital
fucking
thing.
know.
I think that was the excuse for them to be able to use the telephone lines to transmit Jerry's show.
Oh, well, if it's working on the same principle that Jerry's show works, then he should be able to manipulate sound or something at least a little bit on the outside. But if it's got a digital signal boosting element to it, then he can't do shit. You have to make the call on that.
Okay, no, I figured it out. I had to think about it for a second, but bear with me because this actually matters.
Okay.
The way that this sort of thing would likely work is the output can be enhanced, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no you're substituting the amplification system, like the digital amplification system, for a magical one. And those magically enhanced radio signals can be decoded digitally. Because all that it's doing is increasing the length that it moves. It doesn't change any of the data. Right?
You might be opening up a can of worms there.
Well, the method by which radio waves are transmitted into a speaker, like are decoded, is different than sending it.
Yeah, but okay, if you're talking about the hard cutoff between what can and can't be sent magically with a digital signal boost, I mean, I can think of a way to break that pretty easily. All you have to do is vary the signal boost magically going into the digital thing to encode unique information that would be sent.
It wouldn't be able to be read. All that gets scrubbed. All of that would get scrubbed by the digital reader.
Because you're saying you can boost the output, but if you boost the output at intervals, right, you can encode a secondary message, and that would get around the problem of having digital
Like
work
Morse
with
code.
mana. Yeah. Because if you say that you can, and the digital decoder is able to process signal that's been magically boosted while maintaining the relative level of boost, that means that I can use a magical signal.
It wouldn't maintain the relative level of boost.
Which means that it can't be boosted.
Well, no, it would be... Think about it like this. All you're doing is magically increasing the distance at which it can be read. You're making it appear as though, like, if it could normally... If a transceiver at one end could pick up a signal from 10 miles away, all you're doing is making it so that it could be picked up from 30 miles away.
Yeah, but I can still encode unique information with that.
We could maybe just have John, like...
I'm just talking about the principle, because imagine I set an integer value for every mile distance between 1 and 30. And then I boost the signal such that only certain parts of the message that I'm encoding...
Because you wouldn't be able to manually control that. All you would be able to control is the concept of make the signal go further.
Yeah, but that gets down into the nitty-gritty, which is what I'm saying. Is if
right,
I
but
say
what I'm saying is that you literally cannot get into the nitty-gritty there. You can't manually say... If you were to attempt to do something along those lines, you'd be drained of mana instantly and basically die.
All right, I'm just saying you're blurring the line between digital
the complexity
and mana
there.
here.
Okay, think about it like this, right? If it's the ability to let's substitute an arrow or a radio wave for an arrow, right?
Yes.
You fire the arrow and the arrow bolt is enchanted to fly further.
Yes.
And it reaches a force gauge at the end, a digital force gauge.
Okay.
It will not pick up the extra energy that it took to make it magically fly further. It would impact with the same force, even though it flew magnitudes further than it should have been able to, because the only thing that it was affecting was the distance that it flew. The only thing that it was editing is the distance that it flew.
That could work, but I'm still getting a feeling like somebody clever enough could figure out a way to cheese that to encode unique information.
Well, I'm not clever enough to do that.
Potentially, but highly unlikely, because I would say that the arrow metaphor holds.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is if we're talking about the arrow metaphor, say somebody has those receivers set up all throughout where you're talking about, and then based on the distance that arrow flies, you can still figure out...
Like a speedometer?
Yeah.
you wouldn't be able to modify the speed of the arrow at different intervals.
It's not the
same
speed,
concept.
it's the distance. I'm saying if you've got, so I see that the first 3 arrows flew 5 extra miles, the next 3 arrows flew 8 extra miles, the arrows after that flew 10 extra miles. Just manipulating the extra amount of distance is unique information that can be coded in binary.
Wait, what if I just call DB instead? Isn't he still with them?
Yes, but
He's
also,
probably not in the loud room.
this is actually important though. The thing about that will get screwed up is you don't have the ability to do that sort of fine control.
Well, so you can't determine how far it goes. It's just like a wide signal burst.
No, it's
But
not
would-
that you don't get fine control of how far you want it to go. You get control over where you want the destination to be, which varies. You have no control over that.
Well,
If
if
you
you
go,
want-
I want this to be able to reach the viewers, it'll reach the viewers. If you want it to be able to reach the steel drivers, it'll reach the steel drivers.
Yeah, but what if I have, 5 cities and I give each of them a value, and then I say I want this message to reach this city, that message to reach that city in this order.
In that order, you're adding magnitudes of complexity to the point where it's the same problem of it's the same problem of like Giron's time slowdown, where he could technically use that to encode binary as well, but if he attempted to do so, he'd die instantly.
Okay, that's fair then. That works. If you're talking about the barrier not necessarily being that digital, you're talking about
That it could
digital doesn't
absolutely
work
never read.
natively. That
It does not work. You would have to brute force it in such a ridiculous way
right.
that it would be akin to saying like, "Oh, well, you told me I couldn't use a computer, but I've got 10 billion years and a bunch of rocks."
Yeah. Yes, that's a fair analogy, and I'll accept that as
Where it's not that it absolutely physically could not ever possibly work. It's that it is so prohibitively inefficient.
right. So mana is
That it'll
Turing
kill you.
complete, but nobody has anywhere near the ability to use it as such.
It's more like once it reads that input as like that novel of a solution, it flips the fuck out.
Right. Okay, that's fair.
Where you're asking it to solve something that is so entirely insane and so loaded with intent and with like, implications that it collapses in on itself and just kills you.
Okay.
Because it tries to draw
don't
the
do
amount
that.
of raw power it would take to do that is it's basically like going into a computer and go, "Computer, make universe sim," and then the computer tries to do it.
Right.
Where it
Okay.
just goes brrr,
Computer, boot up celery, man.
like
Yeah.
you've got no parameters, you've got no optimization of any kind. You just tell it go, and it goes, but it just veers off into a cliff and overheats and dies instantly. Right?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So this actually is like a super important thing to understand about how magic works in this
Well,
universe.
yeah,
to make it
because
consistent
for
and
anybody
all
who's
that.
not following this in terms of, let me simplify it. My issue here with all the other nonsense put on hold is that the idea that being able to interface mana with digital is a big problem
It
because
is.
you can encode unique information.
And also because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So, side note, we're getting very sidetracked, but this is important. The thing is that it specifically stuff that you try to do works with magic, not
Right.
through any sort of specific like hard set of logic gates. It just does it.
By the way, this isn't anything that Elias would come up with and really doesn't apply. This is just me making sure that the world building makes sense for my own internal consistency.
Right. So
Elias would never think of any of this. Patton might, but probably due to his understanding of how mana works, he would already know that this is impossible.
basically, Patton would absolutely
Impossible
understand how
for
this
now.
works. Where it really is the equivalent of opening up a notepad file on your computer and typing in "make me a video game"
Right.
and trying to run that shit. Nothing will happen. Like, at best, you'll make some sort of garbled process that has some recursive bullshit loop, and you kill your computer. right? You delete System 32, you write some bullshit about computer start up the computer, and then close it down and try and reboot. Boom, you don't have an OS anymore, right? Computers cannot interpret the concept of raw intent.
Right. So for all you math and computer nerds out there, doing what I'm suggesting is basically NP hard for mana.
Yes, which you cannot do specifically because that would break shit.
Yes. All right, so back to the car.
Yeah.
All right, so
anyway,
I'm going to switch up and call DB.
Okay, you switch up and call DB.
You can probably hear the music booming off in the background while he's hiding in a closet.
He picks it up, right?
Mm-hmm.
He goes, wait, guys, wait a second. Turn that down. He was singing along as well.
Oh, hell yeah.
And you're going to hear hey, guys, what's up?
Casey, my man. Long time no talk.
Oh, this is DB.
Oh. You are a lot more full of life, DB. Anyway,
I was. Mm-hmm.
Don't worry. You sounded cool enough that I mistook you for Casey, so take that as a win. But I called you for a reason. Because we got some not so good news about some of our friends, and I think we got a mission for you, if you're willing to accept it.
You're going to hear a gun cock? When am I ever not?
Hell yes. All right, get Casey and Molly and get them. Put me on speaker real quick. We gotta give them the lowdown.
All right, you're going to hear him toss the receiver. The music has been turned down, but is not off.
Good enough.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, Casey. So, you remember that whole instance with the house getting set on fire and Michael and Jersey and all that?
Haha, only every night.
Well, would you like a chance for revenge and to also look like a badass?
You're going to visibly hear him place the receiver down. You're talking about that stuff that went down, where was it? Down south, right?
Down Little Rock, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you guys were down in that town with the funny name.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the towns here have rather humorous names, to be honest.
And that big old smear campaign they did on you guys?
Yes, that's the one.
Yeah. No, yeah. Yeah.
It seems that they have, rather absconded with a few of our compatriots, and
we've got like 20 of those robes, by the way. They keep trying to attack us, and I don't know why they think it's a good idea.
Well, if you'd like to put those robes to good use, they seem to have kidnapped and/or confined my students and the rest of our crew to, we're not entirely sure where, but...
Wait, put the robes to good use?
Infiltration, of course.
Let me handle it, Elias. Casey, sick-ass stealth rescue mission. Are you guys down?
Wait, like full-on Star Wars?
Yeah, just like that.
Jerry, what is Star Wars?
It's really cool.
Don't worry about it.
I probably have it downloaded, Elias, if you ever want to watch it.
I might be interested in something like that, but I think we have more pressing matters.
You're going to see a group of 3 files called episode 1, 2, and 3.
Patton, you piece of shit. That's awful.
Are we talking about, like, Empire Strikes Back, guys? Basically, what level of job do we want here? Do we want, like, smash and grab, get out of there, or do you want us to, like, fuck them up?
We're talking more episode 4 here. You want to get in there and get out.
All right.
Because at this point, I don't believe that Michael himself is there. He might have one of his lieutenants there, but even then, I don't want you guys to risk it.
Oh, if they're there, we're absolutely going to change the plan there. They're going to die.
Well, I can't control you, so if that's what you choose, but
Well, the concept of deniability does seem to come into play here. If the steel drivers are doing the dirty work, it doesn't exactly reflect poorly on us.
that's a fair point. So if you want to smash him, go for it. But priority number 1 is rescue.
I'm sure I don't need to impress upon you the importance of the safety of my students. And the displacer beast.
Oh, yeah, that thing is awesome.
Yes, well, more awesome now that it's sort of under control.
Okay. Hang on. We need to, guys, we're making a turn. Do you have any idea where these guys are?
Well, on that note, I want to roll nature, actually. How strong is my connection to Mavala Jr. at this point?
Incredibly.
Yeah, let me roll nature and see if I can see through Mavala Jr.'s eyes, because there's no way they fucking caught that thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a very high roll.
Oh, this is some Heimdall shit.
That's a very fucking high roll. That is 32.
32?
Yeah.
So on a 32, you're just going to kind of like, Elias is going to kind of like go wide-eyed, pupils completely disappear, eyes start glowing, like, we're going to say like green-ish?
Yeah.
Like with little swirls of black?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're going to see your group of 3 interns tied up in the middle of a room. Everything is pitch black. The first thing that you're going to hear is Brandel, if I die, you need to take care of Mavalia Jr. It's a big responsibility, okay? You gotta remember to feed her, I think.
Yeah, it's
Take them for walks.
All right, I'm gonna have Mavala Jr. pat them both on the shoulder with a tentacle.
Brandel was asleep.
Oh. All right, but what else can I see? Is there any obvious, like, door?
On that note, give me a perception check.
Okay, well, that's not very good. 16.
16? Actually, yeah, what's your perception score normally?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about what I rolled on the dice.
No, I mean, what is your perception score normally?
It's 14.
Oh, okay. I was going to potentially say, like, you could use Mavala Jr.'s perception score in place of that. Because I couldn't remember if you had, like, super good perception.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. So, yeah, no.
He has elven eyes.
Even if you used Mavala Jr.'s perception, it wouldn't get much better than that. But
fun fact, Patton's passive perception is 22.
yes.
Jesus.
I believe Elias's is better.
Wait, my passive perception? Where is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, mine's 24. Get wrecked, nerd.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. First of all, rude.
Actually, in that case, here, let me do something. Because you're not going to be able to tell much from
Special
that.
senses, low light vision.
Yeah. You're not going to be able to tell something from that. Well, even if you've got low light vision, it's still just a very, very dark square room
Like
with like
Bantha
a
Black.
door. Yeah, there's a door. But here, let me roll something. I'm going to see, because these guys are going to try and be a little bit sneaky about things. And oh no,
Oh no
Yeah,
for them
so-
or oh no for me?
don't worry about it.
Fuck
But
you.
basically, what you're going to hear is you're going to hear muffled talking from outside of the door.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't hear much, but you do hear at least one y'all.
Uh-oh.
Oh, so they're back at the fucking... They're back at the, what's their faces?
In Little Rock, in the congregation.
At the
Potentially.
congregation.
You're not entirely sure.
Well, that's one potential place.
Was it a y'all or was it a y'all?
It was a southern y'all.
Okay. That's not good.
All right, what else can I do while I've got this connection going?
What do you want to do? So you pat your
I want to see if there's
friendly
a field or something that's preventing information or mana from traveling out of this room, because it seems like they were having trouble remembering anything, and that seemed to be a little beyond physical trauma.
Oh, that's going to be an Arcana check.
Yeah, I'll roll Arcana on that.
And you can give yourself a +5 to that because of the current because of the current situation.
Right. All right, that's not too bad. That's 23.
23, yeah. On a 23, you can kind of see. You can see that all around these guys and around Maval Jr. There's you can pretty much see magic.
Right.
It seems like the Spice Beasts have some sort of innate understanding and vision of magical effects.
Yeah,
and
it's
things
how
of
they
that nature.
find. It's how they find blind spots.
Yeah, so you can see all of them. They're tied up by the ropes, but they're also tied up with some sort of effect, and it looks like a deep, like crimson mixed with some greens in there slightly. It's like changing colors, but you can't actually like decipher what that is. It becomes apparent to you that Maval Jr. would understand what that is, but you seeing it through her eyes cannot.
And I assume that she can't break it or weaken it in any way.
No. She just knows that it's there, and you get a strong feeling that you want to avoid it.
Okay.
And you see a lot of like similar things like that. There's like a laser tripwire in the system in the room that you're naturally weaving in and out and around.
All right, what I'm going to do then is Elias has just realized that he's seeing this, and that means that it's in the heads-up display, so I'm going to like send this to Patton and see if he can like turn it into something to print out or send to the steel drivers in case if they might know better. So I'm just kind of like...
I don't think this is something that's going to be on the heads-up display.
Would it not be if I'm seeing it through my own eyes?
You aren't.
Well, because you're connected to Mavala, it's in the same sense that Patton can have those intrusive thoughts from these other people, but he's not literally like...
You guys with your link up wouldn't be able to see one of Patton's memories.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
It's going in through your own mind.
It's raw visual data.
Yeah.
Well, then while I'm looking at this, I'm gonna pull out my sketchbook and just start kind of drawing what I see in terms of like ley lines and things like that in the room.
Yeah.
And labeling them because, I take notes all the fucking time.
Right. The best way to think about it is that your guys' heads up link is more along the lines of probably something like, you plug it in and then some little fun little nanobots something make a little video uplink.
Yeah.
It's not a direct brain-to-brain interface.
Okay, that's fair. All right, so I'm going to sketch that out and then give it to Patton as a means of...
On doing that, well, while you're doing that, you're going to hear Dr. Adelhelm?
I'm like way off, so can I actually hear this or no?
Yes. You're seeing and feeling the senses. It's one of your interns.
Oh, okay.
It's Sarun. Or Sarune? I can't remember how I established that pronunciation. I believe it's Sarun.
I guess I'll make Mavala Jr. make like a low growl that doesn't normally make so they know it's me.
Huh.
Like a chirp kind of noise.
I didn't know you could do that yet.
Oh, so
you hated this sort of thing.
I don't really have a way to communicate here other than through the decoder. I'm just going to like pace around with Mavala Jr. and then settle in the center, like curl up in a defensive position.
I think he's better at this stuff than he is at, like, the main science stuff.
I'm going to smack him with a tentacle.
Ow!
Oof.
Yeah, that's definitely Dr. Adelhelm.
And then I think that'll pretty much sever it, and I'll go back.
Oh, Dr. Adelhelm, wait. You tell him, Mavala. Oh, Mavala Jr. was saying that, that it wants to go with you.
I'm going to cock Mavala Jr.'s head, saying?
You're going to see, like, a look of visible confusion from Surd, kind of like in a, I don't know either, man.
Wait, wants to come with us? That's not possible. They can't teleport that far.
Actually,
Can it?
you see, yeah, you look up and you see connected to your own head as well a little blue line that's just going straight through the building.
Oh. But is there any way I can't use this to triangulate their position or figure out where they are, right?
Nope.
Bug. All right, well, I'll pull Mavala Jr. through. What?
We are in a car going 90 miles per hour.
It's fine.
Which seat are you in?
The middle seat. So land in my lap. This connection is
Okay.
not Jerry's bullshit teleport. This is like an innate natural connection. It's not going
So
to
yeah,
fail.
you're just going to see, everybody's going to hear a little pop. And then some worried growling and screeching, and John or someone is going to get like an errant claw to the face as Mavala Jr. starts freaking the hell out.
No, I'll just pat Mavala Jr. and be like, it's cool, don't worry. And then Specky can chill with Mavala Jr.
Looks right, looks left, looks right, looks left, looks right, looks left, looks at you.
I don't know what is going on
Immediately
here.
starts scratching at the window.
Just gonna pat him. Just head pats, calm down.
You know, Elias, this is a pretty big car, but a birdman, a tiefling, an elf, an orc, and 2 cats?
Well, to be strictly accurate, Specky isn't exactly a cat. In terms of genus, well, we haven't really decided yet. But...
You're over the walkie-talkie. You're going to hear the track move twice from "Party Hard" to do 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 do, and then just a bunch of weapons being unloaded. This is, and everybody's singing along. Just, this is your time to pay. This is your judgment day.
Oh, so they're getting ready to go kill.
Yes,
I was very scared of those first 4 notes you did, Dan.
Yeah,
Yes.
me too.
Hey,
The congregation's gonna
everything
have a
okay
bad
like there?
time.
We're just getting ready over here.
Patton, you might want to inform them maybe not to shoot to kill.
Yeah, maybe not too much killing there.
I don't know if I could convince them not to kill Michael and his crew if they see them. I will
Michael
advise
and his
not
crew
to.
are different than potentially brainwashed or otherwise non optimally functioning members of the congregation.
Oh yeah, I just
I'm
kind of
gonna
assumed
say,
that was obvious.
They've
Hey, Casey,
probably
you there?
already killed a few.
I would hope not.
But they're not already shooting. They're shooting guns into the air, dude.
No, you just hear the sound of a lot of weapons being loaded
You
and
said
then singing
unloaded.
along to the song.
Oh, you did say unloaded.
Oh, well, like, you gotta take them out from the cabinets and then load them.
Right. Okay, so
Okay.
yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, you do hear them just kind of singing along the chorus, which is, you better get ready to die.
Yeah, I'm going to attempt again to talk to Casey. Can I do
Yeah.
that? All right. Hey, I might got some friends over there where you guys are going. They ain't thinking right now. Could you do your best to maybe not kill them?
You're gonna hear turn down the music. Oh, that would look kind of bad, right?
Yeah.
No, I meant the song. We weren't planning on killing, we knocked out most of the people we got these robes from.
Well, I know you guys are some good guys, so that don't surprise me too much. I just heard a lot of guns. Wanted to be clear that well, they ain't all bad guys over there.
Yeah.
You're a good
But
kid,
if I
Casey.
see any of those people who did anything to my friends, I'm going to kill them.
I wouldn't blame you.
Just so you know. Like, nothing against you. We're cool. But if it comes down to it, if it's me or one of my friends or one of those guys, yeah, they're dying.
I'm with you. I'm right there with you, Casey. I just
Okay.
don't want nothing to happen to any of my friends.
Did you guys get that location?
Well, I did hear them say y'all, which makes me tend to think
Little
that
Rock.
Yes, well, that was my first assumption. However, barring the idea that they're on the move, it could be Little Rock or it could be somewhere in
On
that
the
vicinity.
move? Did you say on the move or on the moon? One of them is significantly cooler than the other.
On the move.
You're going to hear
unfortunately.
DB from the background say, "That's no moon," and everybody laughs.
God, these guys are fucking nerds. That's not... maybe that is in character, but... I don't think Elias has it in him to call anybody a nerd. I don't think he even would know the word nerd yet.
Probably not.
You would
Alright.
know dork. Or whatever the material played version of calling someone a dork is.
But yeah, you didn't think they were moving, right?
I don't think so, but we did have a rather large vehicle that was in the process of being repaired, so it is possible that they've moved that somewhere.
We'll be on the lookout. The road train, right?
Correct.
God, that thing was so sick.
Yes, well, we'd like to retrieve it in one piece.
Whose idea was it to put the wyvern skull on it? Because that I gotta say that was great.
Yes, that would be my idea. If you'd like, we can... I assume you've seen the footage?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yes, well, let me know if you ever need another wyvern slain.
You're just gonna hear him turn away and go, just like, breathe in deep. If you're gonna kill another one, I'm coming with you.
Well, we'll save this discussion for after we retrieve our friends. Though I must admit, the prospect of a secondary sample to compare the primary against is quite
All right,
intriguing.
DB, this is a stealth mission. Suit up. This is your time to shine, buddy. You're going to hear him cock the gun again. And then the sound of a full bullet just falling onto the ground. Oh, shit.
Yeah, because you can't cock it once. If it's already got one in the chamber, you'll unload it.
Yeah, it just falls down and he just goes, oh, shit. Don't worry, we got this. Click.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, they're the best.
We're going to want to get this over with quickly. Patton?
I mean, you mean the driving? I mean, I'm going pretty fast here.
Yes, well, I do believe that we're going to want to deal with Michael because if anything goes south, extricating our friends here, I think a solution with Michael will put an end to that.
So that means don't try and mod this car any further. In fact, don't try and mod a car ever again.
Well, I can't promise that, but I will leave this car alone.
I will do my best to guarantee it.
At least until after, we're done with all this.
Yes, well, let's finish this up quickly because, quite honestly, the prospect of another wyvern hunt does seem, I believe DB or Casey would call it awesome.
Well, I'm going to keep it real with you, Elias. That's like number 50 on my list of things I want to do.
Oh, I guess you're not quite as awesome as me then, Jerry.
Or he's got a really big list.
It's a pretty big list.
True.
By the way, this entire time, he's just had a gigantic, absolutely huge displacer beast just kind of awkwardly sitting in his lap.
Yeah, it's badass as hell.
Is that not crushing your legs?
Oh no, it hurts immensely.
I can't imagine any of this is comfortable for any of us.
I'll deal with seating arrangements in a moment.
Well, all right, Casey.
I'm gonna fold down like the back seat.
He already hung up.
They clicked.
Yeah, he clicked, dude.
Jerry got distracted by the huge cat, and Patton
Mhm.
saying he would do things fast.
I've decided that
Yes.
displacer beasts sound like cheetahs, basically. Big enough to
Pretty
purr,
much.
but they also make chirping noises and like that kind of noise.
Yeah. So anyway, let me look at a map real quick to figure out how reasonable it is and like, time to get to places. Let me do a quick
A Google search.
Yeah. So by car to get to where you're going with, like clear traffic and roads that aren't garbage, it would take like 22 hours. So
2 days,
add in,
probably.
2 days. Most likely. Also based on that whole mana map and all that stuff that you got, you're getting into the bad stuff. Like once you get into Arizona, you're not getting much of anything.
Man, I think we've been in the bad zone for so long now.
Oh yeah, absolutely you have. It's gotten a lot better since you guys are in the smaller car. Like your requirements are a lot less severe, and you're making faster time.
Mm-hmm.
But you do need to get a move on. Like probably non-stop driving.
Was there anyone who wasn't? I think we all know enough about how to drive now, right? I think that's all been covered. All four of us.
Elias can't drive for shit, dude.
Yeah, don't give Elias a car. He will crash
now's
it.
not really the time to teach.
I think both John and Elias can, though John's on his I believe John has his bitchin' motorcycle.
Oh yeah.
Because John's mana requirements are significantly lessened.
Wait, so
Than
John is
anybody else.
outside on the motorcycle then, right?
Yeah.
So there's no way he got clawed up by Mavology.
I assumed it was
I
like a
forgot.
teleport thing.
Yeah.
Well, that would be kind of
I
funny,
forgot.
like a fucking ghost paw, basically just.
Probably that, actually.
Well, so just Mavala Jr. will just sit in John's seat and wear John's hat and be the new John.
Meow, partner.
That'd be
Mavala
goddamn
Jr.
adorable.
wears the hat. Look at me, I'm John. Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Good Toy Story 1 reference.
Yeah, you're welcome, dude.
Anyway, so a lot of
A
driving.
displacer beast could probably use a gun. They got those
No.
tentacles. You could hold it and pull a trigger.
I don't like that.
Jesus Christ, how horrifying.
Displacer
I mean-
beast with gun.
Patton will teach a displacer beast how to shoot a gun if he
Patton-
was not currently busy driving.
Let's let
You're very
Mavala
fortunate
Jr.
right
drive.
now.
Bad
Again,
ideas.
Don't give Patton ideas.
Mavala Jr. is driving. How can that be?
That's the
Okay,
goof.
so as far as things of note, it's a lot of fucking desert, dude. And you're in that part of everything where like there isn't enough in the way of radical weather changes and stuff for the road to get completely reclaimed.
Mhm.
Probably, I don't know how this shit works. I ain't a botanist.
Wait, what are you
Or a
talking about?
geologist, like saying that the roads are probably pretty okay.
Well, it depends on how much you think infrastructure improved. in the intervening-
Significantly.
So then they probably have metamaterials so that the roads are pretty much fine except for debris.
Yeah, so in that case, you guys can make pretty damn good time.
And that's not
Okay,
just a
good.
contrivance to get us to get there faster. It's legitimately
Yeah,
an
that's pretty much what I
extrapolation.
was thinking of.
When Patton changes shifts to have John drive, he's actually playing Desert Bus.
You just look at the
The
heads up
video
display.
Yeah, Patton sits down and just starts playing starts playing Desert Bus.
So your next like stop that has actual mana in it, most likely, is going to be Flagstaff. Because that's when you get into like there's like a big old national forest in there and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like there is actually stuff there, like trees.
Okay.
Rather thick forests. However, yeah, there's really, like, I can't think of anything that would reasonably happen in between Albuquerque and there. So, do you guys have anything you needed to do or no?
I think
really.
we're pretty good on mana producing plants and stuff because I got those clippings and all that stuff. So I think we just need to make good time.
So here's what we're gonna do then.
And I don't think
Who
Mavala
is
Jr.
Patton switching out driving duty with? Giron?
Well, John's on his motorcycle, so it's going to be Jaron. Patton's going to hand the reins to Jaron to drive.
Have we ever established if Giron can actually drive?
I think I learned a little bit in Little Rock when we had the downtime.
Yeah.
I feel like you know how to drive.
I mean, to be fair, we're in the desert. It's a straight line.
And
It's
I
not
mean,
that hard.
I've been going around the country, like outside of New York, for years, so.
Yeah. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Everybody who is... Here's how we're going to model this. This is going to be not a skill challenge.
Okay.
Because there's nothing really for Elias to do. But let's say every 8 hours or so, you're going to need to switch. And this is going to get tiring real fast. Like, going 2 days straight, you're not really able to leave the car that often, if much at all, because you'll let out all the damn mana. So, you're going to have to do a series of straight shots, basically, between the various areas. So, what I want is, who is driving right now in the stretch from Albuquerque to Flagstaff?
That's going to be Patton.
Okay, let me just look at this stuff. Okay, so, Patton and John, give me an endurance check.
Oh, fuck. Where is my endurance? Is that under skills?
Yeah, you've never had to roll an endurance check in your life.
Okay. All right. Let's. Oh boy.
25.
Okay. So, well, John, why don't you tell me what yours is first?
25.
25. Okay. Patton's is a 9.
Patton's is a 9. Okay. So, Patton, as it starts to get as you start to lose some of the light, it starts to get dark outside. You start to feel incredibly tired.
Mm-hmm.
And John, you're going to see Patton start to like drift off the road a little bit.
I'm going to shoot a gun. That'll wake him up.
Okay.
Just like in the air.
Yeah, just like
Okay.
No, at the car.
All right, Patton, give
Wake
me
up!
Give me a perception check.
A perception
Okay.
check for a gunshot?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, well, that is a 29.
Okay, on a 29, you get jostled awake and quickly identify what it was, and don't assume that you're under attack and veer off of the road.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Okay, it's at this point as well that you probably notice you haven't heard shit from your human friend.
Where's Perry?
Like, she helped you drive, like, all the way up here and stuff, and is nowhere to be seen since you guys left Albuquerque.
Maybe we took a wrong turn.
I already made that joke, Elias.
I wasn't in character.
Michael.
I'm not Michael, I'm Elias. Michael is the bad
You had
guy.
some sort of understanding with them that, like, if stuff went wrong, they would take control.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't happen.
Well, we definitely don't need mana to interact with her, so that's weird.
When it's Jaron's turn, I'm going to hand him the wheel, and then I'm going to see if I can get directly in contact with her myself, if I can try and reach out to them,
Okay.
if there's any way I can.
So you're going to do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then in the footwell of the car, you're going to see them, like, basically looks like on their hands and knees, their head peers up at you. They quickly look behind them and say, "They're here, not now," and then vanish.
Uh-oh. Well then, let's jot this down in the bad folder, or bad notebook rather. I don't think there's anything I could do to help them right now, but that's not good. And I'm going to share this info with everyone here.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
I guess all the more reason to keep going. There's nothing we can do from here.
So as you guys start to pull into Flagstaff, the city looks remarkably similar to the other cities of this kind that you've seen. Very burnt out, very overgrown, with the only key difference being, as you're driving through, you notice a decently large amount of sort of these circular boulders that kind of remind you of the ones that you saw back when you first met the big old golem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Except they're like dried out and shriveled up. Specky immediately like goes eyes wide and starts pawing at the glass.
How about we don't?
Wait, so run that description by me again?
In the street and like impacted into buildings, you see some of these boulders that were similar to the ones that you saw that made up the like big old golem.
Mm-hmm.
But they're like dried out and shriveled up and like clearly have been reduced back down to just boulders, but kind of held together with dried out dead fungal material.
Right, and I can tell that that's what those things used to be.
Oh yeah, it's pretty obvious.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna look at Specky.
And from Specky freaking out.
All right, let me go ahead and roll nature to see how weathered those rocks are.
Okay.
I want to see if they're weathered beyond natural weathering, or if they've just been shaped by the fungus creature itself. You know what I mean? Because I'm trying to determine when this all went down. Because that sort of defines how dangerous or how bad the situation might be. All right, that's going to be a 27.
27? Very.
So it's old.
Yes.
So we probably don't have too much to worry about right here.
Probably. But Specky is like pawing at the glass very intently.
As we're driving by?
Yes.
All right, I'm just going to pat Specky and toss it a little piece of food.
Specky entirely ignores it.
Interesting. Well, Specky, I can see you're interested in those boulders, but I think the fungal colony that you split from is probably not here, so probably continue on. I don't think there's anything to be alarmed about.
Specky continues to furiously paw at the thing. It's pretty dark at this point. You are going to need to find somewhere to hunker down for the night.
All right,
Unless you're planning on driving through the night.
Was that not the plan? I thought that was the plan.
Yeah, I thought it was the plan.
Was it the plan?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we were swapping off. So
Okay.
that, like, Patton's driving, like, 12 hours or however long that was. Then Jerry's going to be driving it. And then Patton and Jerry keep swapping back and forth. Although John's on his motorcycle, so that actually causes a bit of an issue.
Yeah. So there is actually, like, a decent amount of mana here, so I don't know exactly I'm trying to think about the mechanism for refilling on mana.
I mean, we've
Just
established
taking
that
deep
we're in a
breaths.
pretty serious time crunch, though.
Yes.
But I need to
just-
sleep.
Yeah, John's a sleepy boy.
We should stop somewhere for a short rest. I don't think I'd be comfortable driving for like 24 hours. I guess for more than 24 hours straight. I'm pretty sure at
Yeah,
that
that's
point
the
I
other
start
thing.
getting into
Well,
like
and he's going to need gas too.
Yeah. Which you guys can synthesize, alchemically with some of those materials that you got.
Okay, so what we'll be doing
Patton
at the
can do
stop
that.
is, we'll be alchemizing some gas for our car and John's. John's going to be getting some shut-eye so he can try and, rest a bit. It's still going to be a long drive, but you don't want him passing out on a motorcycle.
This is sort of like one of those last stop for gas in X miles sort of memes.
Well, Pat, make
Right.
sure you give John one of your stimulants if he's going to be doing the stretch run straight on for the rest of this.
yeehaw.
Okay, so where do you guys think? How long do you think you're going to make a stop, if at all, and where? Like, what are you going to be actively looking for?
I would say
Just like a wooded area, or
Well, I mean, first things first, before we do anything.
Are there any buildings
okay,
around?
once we do stop, I'm going to be giving John a package of Dr. Patton's patent pending caffeinated cowboys. There's little drops that
yeah.
got a ton of caffeine in them.
God damn it!
How does he
he
do
do
it?
it? How does he do that?
My only requirement for a place to stop would be, some mana, and probably not terribly hostile.
Okay, so there is like a as far as places that would be easy spots for a lot of mana producing plants to take hold. There's an old golf course
Okay.
that could potentially be good.
Okay.
Okay, I mean,
That is definitely going to be overgrown at this point, but it's like it's not like huge trees. It's more like the brush and everything, which is generally speaking better for the mana producing plants. Or there's also the entirety of Flagstaff. So I don't know. Like, you want to go to a Walmart?
You guys think we
I
need to
mean,
stop in
Elias
town, Ken?
somehow deep within his soul feels a unearthly revulsion to going into a Walmart that he cannot
I can't.
quite place why.
Yeah, there's that. There's like a college. There's a college there. There's like a football field. I'm trying to look at like
Well-
green places.
A college.
There's a gated ass community.
Are there would evergreen trees produce mana at this point?
Hybrids would, depends on the
Yeah.
type.
Okay, well there's tons of ski resorts around. Where I'm
Yeah.
sure, so we can just go to one of those.
That'd be a bit out of your way.
Yeah,
like a
ski
little
resorts
bit,
are
but
generally out of the way.
you're going to be going up some like sketchy ass dirt roads.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Yeah,
yeah, I'd love to check that out, but
We're on a
we're
time
pretty
crunch.
much anything that's like less than a few minutes off of our main road here. That's what we're limited to. Because we're zooming right past here, for the most
Okay.
part.
So yeah, just tell me where you guys want to go then. It
Golf
does
course
actually
sounds
matter
cool
for
to
me.
me.
Yeah, that works.
Okay. So
Plus, we've
you
been at a golf course before, way back in like
Yeah.
episode 2.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
that's
Remember,
right.
John cut a guy's fingers off. It was kind of
That-
weird.
That's
It
not
was.
canon.
It's basically not canon, yeah.
it's so far out of character for him. Yeah. So yeah, you guys pull up to there. It's fairly thoroughly overgrown, and the absolute second you open the door, Specky bolts.
Bolts.
Yeah, just
Well, that's
straight
odd.
towards the nearest one of these boulders.
All right, I'm gonna bolt after Specky with Mavala Jr. coming
Okay.
with me.
I guess I'll follow them because that's interesting.
Specky is going to just like start headbutting the boulder.
I'm gonna take a closer look at the boulder,
Just
especially the. All right, let me roll nature because Specky seems to not be paying any attention to what I'm saying, so I'm having a hard time parsing what exactly Specky's attempting to do. So let me roll nature to see if I can glean what's going on because I have a few ideas.
okay, go for it.
28.
28?
Yeah.
So on a 28, what you can tell about Specky from your research is that whatever Specky is incredibly good at not dying.
Yeah.
it's very hard to actually kill it.
Are these things
And-
desiccated or what?
They seem to be completely dried up, but
Yeah, that's what I said. Sodium chloride.
yeah. They're not... It's difficult to tell immediately just from looking at the outside whether or not they're completely and utterly dead.
All right, let me crack one of these bad boys open with a pick.
Okay, you do that, and the second you split it open, Specky just shoves its face into the crack.
All right, I want to split it open like a geode and see if the structure that goes through the cracks to find moisture in the rocks is still alive or not.
It is not, and also Specky's face is like open.
What do you mean?
It's just kind of like feeling around in there.
It's don't
like
look
a
right.
bunch of tendrils and stuff sticking out.
Yeah.
What's that, Specky? You want a Specky snack? No. All right, so I'm gonna look at Specky and look at the rock and then take a small sample of the dead fungus and hold it up because I assume our heads up display has a magnification setting.
Sure.
Before I bring it back to like a proper microscope, I just want to see what it looks like, see what happens to the cell structure.
Give me another nature check.
I'm looking to see how these things died. 29.
Answer, not naturally.
Not naturally.
And other answer, very, very sophisticated.
Meaning?
A specialized antifungal.
Oh, that's good. I'm going to pull Specky away because antifungals...
And it's non-magical.
Oh, okay. I'm going to pull Specky away from this thing because it looks like it's full of antifungal stuff.
Anything that was there is gone now and inert, but you can tell based on the way that it broke down what happened to it.
All right, so the cells are all messed up.
Specky pops out, and you see Specky in its now reformed cat face mouth holding like a little core, like a really tightly wound ball of fungus.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to look up at you, and it's going to eat the ball.
Did it take that ball from the rock?
Yes.
Specky, spit that out. You don't know where that's been.
So Specky is going to puff up a bit, start running around in circles, just going... Then he's going to stop, look at you, then look all around, and take up like a little fighting stance.
Does he do this often?
No. This would be new behavior.
Specky, did you get into those caffeinated cowboys while I wasn't looking?
Shakes head.
Becky, I realize this presents a rather dangerous looking situation for us, but these boulders were dealt with or killed quite a long time ago.
So Specky is going to go full on Courage the Cowardly Dog at this point?
Yes, we'll maintain proper
No,
guard.
I mean in that Specky is going to roll up into a boulder, is going to roll into you, and then pop back into cat form, flip over on their side, and then put on a little like cat helmet, like make a little motorcycle helmet or looking thing out of the rocks, and hold up its paws in like a gun holding position, and then point down, like point over to the down here and point over to the rock.
Yes, well, I'm sure whatever happened here was sufficiently dangerous, but we'll maintain a guard and keep away from any antifungal factions that might exist around here.
Wait, Specky, do you know exactly what happened here?
He's going to nod head yes.
Elias, I think Specky saw what happened when he ate that. Or, I don't know,
well,
I'm just guessing here.
That is possible, but I would caution Specky against consuming foreign matter, especially from a degraded example of its fungal brethren.
Specky is going to shake head, is going to look over in the distance somewhere and then shoot out 2 tendrils and turn your head towards where it's looking.
What do I see?
You see another one of these boulders,
Mm-hmm.
and sticking out of the boulder, like crushed underneath it, you're going to see a smashed helmet and a suit of armor that looks very similar to those guys that you killed back with Casey.
Oh, it's those fuckers.
With the symbol, the quote unquote drug runner.
The Wonderland.
Wonderland.
If I remember correctly, people are going to get mad at me. My note file with the exact specifics of that symbol are gone, but I believe it was a half sun, right?
I think
That sounds right.
That sounds familiar.
It was a half sun, right? I think so. So you're going to see that, emblazoned on the thing. And Elias, you notice very quickly the antifungal agent that they used is not magical at all.
Yeah, so that's worrying.
It's also not something that you've seen in like any of the ruins or anything. It's both new and not magical in nature.
That's rather worrying.
What's got me worried is that this is both times. Now I know it's not a very large sample size, but both times we've encountered big old fungus golems, it has been associated with these Wonderland guys.
Yes.
And also the body that's underneath that rock
is the same armor, and
it's fully suited up and has no visible skin. But yeah, it's the same dude. It's the same dude.
I'm gonna check that guy out. Obviously he's dead, but how long has he been dead?
You have no way of knowing unless you actually go up there.
Oh, I mean, yeah, Patton's gonna walk right up there with a scalpel in his hand.
Okay.
Yeah, obviously.
I mean, I'm going to tell Specky to start that this is worrying and that Specky should start accumulating extra mass.
Specky is going to do a little salute.
I think
and is going to start breathing in heavily.
Specky needs to get bigger. I'm going to look at Mavala Jr. and then look at Specky and look at the relative size difference because Specky is basically house cat size, but yeah. Specky, I feel like
chonky.
This is a worrying development in the relatively short, as far as I know, evolutionary cycle of the fungoid golems.
Okay, so what are you going to do exactly there, Patton?
You said the guy was fully covered. I'm not gonna like stab him with a scalpel, but I'm going to try and cut open his suit to see if I can see like how decomposed he is. Like, did this thing suck him dry? Is it skull and bones under there?
Okay. So what are you going to open up first? Like where?
The neck. I'm going to try and remove the helmet.
Okay, you remove the helmet, and you see they seem to be mostly dried out, like almost mummified. Give me a...
Please use the word
let's
desiccated.
go with a heal. Yes, desiccated. Give me a heal check.
Okay, that is 20 in total.
20 in total?
Yes.
All right. On that note, then, what you're going to notice about them is, you remember those blanks?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a human face.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, man.
Uh-oh.
Can I cross-reference anything with our human friend on this? Like, is anything similar?
Haha, no! You can't reach him.
Okay, now the Wonderland guys we saw before, they were like they were, orcs, whatever the fuck, right? Like they were our normal fantasy menagerie.
You didn't. You never took off their helmets or anything. You just grabbed their stuff and left.
All right, so this is big.
Unless you guys did, and I'm getting massively contradicting myself.
I don't think,
but I feel like I would have remembered that.
Okay. Wow. All right. Guys, come here and take a look at this.
Hey, Elias, it's a human.
How? Well, let me roll nature on that to see how There's
Yeah.
telltale signs of like, what's it called?
Is he about to go full cordyceps on us?
Kind of.
I ain't
Well-
taking this rock off the body until we know he's not a fungus zombie.
Well, no, he's not going to be a fungus zombie.
That's ridiculous.
These guys have been. I can tell without even rolling.
Hang on, let me just
without even-
erase some notes. Oh no, they figured out I was going to Last of Us them. Darn
It's
it.
hold on. Trying to combine cordyceps and corpse. Give me a second.
Corpse-dyceps.
Corpse-dyceps?
Cordycorpse.
Cordycorpse. There you go.
Cordyceps. There it is.
No, I can tell without rolling and just by looking at these things. And Daniel can back me up. They're not alive. They're dead, and they've been dead for a while.
Yes.
The question is, and what I'm rolling nature is, I'm looking for telltale signs of a creature that has used mana at any point in its life.
Mhm.
There are
Go for it.
differences between like a deer that has used mana and a deer that hasn't in terms of cell degradation, that sort of thing. That is a 28. I'm rolling hella good on nature.
28.
Yeah.
Okay, on that, what you're going to be able to tell is, one, this thing has never used mana in its life, and two, it is very clearly not a natural human.
Right. It
As
doesn't
in-
fit the skeletal structure of the corpses that we've found before. And the records.
It's not necessarily that it doesn't fit, it's that it's too perfect.
Interesting.
There's no flaws or asymmetries or things of that nature.
Almost like it was grown in a lab or something.
All right. It's
Yeah.
desiccated, right?
Yes.
All right. Without saying anything, I'm going to grab a scalpel or not a scalpel, but yeah, basically a bone saw out of my pack and cut its skull open.
Haha! How strong is that bone saw of yours?
It's a standard medical bone saw, probably carbon filament.
Carbon filament? Yeah, those teeth are gonna break.
Ooh. All right, here, Elias. I'm sure I got something in here, and I'm gonna dig for my own bone saws.
You're gonna like scrape up against it, and you're just going to chip off.
Well, that shouldn't happen. This thing isn't
Right.
made of. Its skull isn't made of bone. Not
No,
bone
it
that
isn't.
I understand it.
I like to
Yeah,
mention
you
that
can tell
Jerry
that
is
pretty
like
easily.
lurking behind both of you. Like Zep's right behind Pat, and Jerry's like definitely in Elias's personal space, just like freaking out.
I'm not paying any attention to Jerry being in my personal space.
Here, Elias, let's try to splinter this skull with a cranium chisel here.
No, I don't want bone fragments in here. I need it intact. I need to look at what's left of the brain.
I can try and put it in stasis for you.
The question here isn't stasis. It's not going to degrade any further. I just need to look inside of it.
Well, can't help you there, but I'll still shoot
Well,
it.
okay. I'm gonna pop. Are the eyes still there? Can I go
Oh,
through the
ooh.
socket?
The eyes are not.
Patton, you
So
wouldn't
it's an
happen to
empty
have
socket.
An
I'm gonna
optical
pronounce this
cable.
wrong. No, yeah, lapis. That one. You know where they put the little snake cable thing for surgery.
I can look for the little snake cable thing that you used during surgery, Elias.
Now shut up. Elias would know how to pronounce the fucking word. I just can't remember how to say it. Laparoscopic surgery.
Okay, so are you going to attempt to do that? Then?
Yeah, I just want to look through.
Put in one of those lights.
Yeah, I just want to look through the eye socket into the brain.
Give me a
Failing
perception check.
who?
Whoever's doing it.
If Patton holds one up for even half a second, I'm just gonna grab it and look. So
Yeah, I'll do an assist roll with Elias to
Okay.
try and find the best angle for this.
that will be 27.
27?
Yeah.
Okay.
Patton rolled a 1 on his assist roll.
Okay, so bring that down to a 25.
Hey.
And Patton, why don't you roll me an Arcana check?
Jesus fucking Christ, I rolled 2 1s in a row.
Oh
Stop
no! Oh no!
Even better.
No,
Okay,
stop it.
So, Elias, what you're going to do is you're going to see a.
Everyone's
you're going to
so
go in through there.
stupid. Everyone but me.
Everything is metal on the inside, seemingly, or reinforced bone, or something you can't tell.
Mm-hmm.
However, what you're going to notice is the cranial socket, like or whatever it's called, the what is it called? The cranial cavity?
Ocular socket.
The ocular socket, and then getting in through there. This thing is hollow on the inside in terms of the skull.
There's no brain?
No.
Oh, we're dealing with goddamn androids.
And in fact, there is signs of it. There's like a residue all along the inside of it, some sort of fine powder.
Mm-hmm.
And on the back of the skull, you're going to see a little LED display pop up, or some sort of display that just says "Nice try, Tenali," and then a countdown.
Oh fuck!
3, 2.
I'm gonna yell to back up to run.
Yeah. So on that, as you guys all dive for cover, this thing explodes, or more accurately, implodes, and you just see a nice little crater where there used to be part of this golf course, perfectly circular, and then the air gets sucked back in, creating a secondary shockwave there.
Stop doing stuff that I know out of character, but Elias doesn't know in character.
Fuck off. Secondary shockwave, you guys get thrown back a pretty decent distance, but you're all sturdy.
The fucking
It'll be
AM
fine.
reaction, you fucking piece of shit.
Ha.
It's matter, antimatter.
Yes.
That's staying in. I can't. Elias doesn't know that. Patton doesn't know that.
John's
Nobody knows
first
that,
guess.
but I know that.
Yeah.
John's been reading sci-fi novels and goes, "Oh, that's definitely a matter-antimatter reaction."
Also, there was definitely a little like a little smiley face with 2 X's for eyes next to the "Nice try, Tenali" message.
Now I need to know, Dan, is this where we're going to end the episode? Because I have a mildly funny goof.
I mean, we could.
Yeah, that's a good place to
Okay.
end.
Well, I've got a lot of questions, but I think the most important one is, John, do you want classic or zero ultra flavor?
It wasn't.
That wasn't even mildly funny.
Yeah,
It just wasn't funny.
It's tying into his caffeinated cowboys, but
You made a bad joke.
I wasn't.
It's a bad joke. You made a bad joke, Tad.
I can improve it in post and no one will ever know.
He's been editing every episode and just replacing all his quips with much better ones.
That's right. And speaking of much better ones, this was Revival, a Dungeons & Dragons real play podcast. You can find us on YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, Spotify. There's a Twitter, Discord, Patreon. I've got all that stuff in the description there. I ended up not recording over my joke because I still think it was pretty damn funny. And everyone who disagrees with me is both wrong and an idiot. Thanks for listening.
Chinese go home. I just want to be a fucking